Welcome back to Sources of Magic YouTube channel. Good to see you again. Today I wanted to talk about pendulums, and I wanted to talk about how to begin to use pendulums and how to learn to trust the answers and connect with a pendulum. So I have quite a few sets here. I have used them in quite a few of my readings, and what I use a pendulum for is kind of yes and no answers. I can use a pendulum on a map if somebody is moving or looking for work. I can use a pendulum to help guide to the area that they should concentrate their searches in, things like that. So you can get pretty creative with using pendulums, or you can keep it simple, whatever works for you. When you first start using a pendulum, between like 0 and 6 months, you're basically practicing your connection with the pendulum. A pendulum simply is just a heavy object on the base of a string that allows free-flowing movement. That's all. So a plumb line, a visual guide for straightness, that kind of thing. Where it gets spiritual is the connection you build with yourself through yourself to a visual tool. Okay, now I've got several types of pendulums, and I've got these guys here are probably the most common that you see hanging in crystal stores. There we go. So these are gems. A lot of them are quartz crystal, and they've either been colored or painted. This guy, he's a tiger's eye. We have onyx, we have a red jasper, a couple of different things. I've also got a necklace, and I think this is a carnelian inside. He's just inside of a cage. So, you know, comes separate. You can put any little crystal in there that you wish to use. I have a personal necklace. Actually, I have 2 personal necklaces. There we go. And then I have a computer mouse. Okay. So I'll show you connecting with your pendulums, how to begin that. When you're starting, you're most likely newer to energy work, and it's a beginner's tool to help you learn to trust your abilities, is kind of what a pendulum is when I teach pendulums. So the first one is picking your pendulum, seeing where you're drawn to. Now I am drawn to this one here, and now I can tell that there are some emotional connections or emotional residue left on some of these items. This one here is, I haven't cleaned any of them here because we're just using it as a teaching tool. So I didn't go through a cleaning process with them, but this one here is calling to me. So this one is not the pendulum I want to show you guys. So I'm actually going to put this one on, is what we're going to do. All right. There we go. Now, in my mind, when I do yes and no answers, I can do them quite quickly. So when I was drawn to that one, in my mind, I was asking it if it would like to be used as the pendulum demonstration, and it said no. And when I asked if it would like to be used, it said yes. So I'm gonna wear it. That's what we're gonna do. So that is how quickly it can transfer through you for information once you've become accustomed to how to understand your pendulum and how to connect to it. All right. Okay, so the connections with these guys, we are going to look through the rest of them and see which one is the most attractive, which one draws my attention to the pendulum. And I've got the tiger's eye. Okay? Normally in my regular daily life, the pendulums I use are this red one and this green one here. So this is new. So to begin, we hold our pendulum, we take it with us, we purchase it, we bring it home, all of that stuff. And then we connect with it. So we allow our energy to transfer through us into the pendulum. We allow the pendulum's energy to transfer to us, and we just connect with it, okay? Now we can also connect with breathing. And when we breathe, we're gonna do in through the mouth, out through the nose, but we're gonna go on 3 different levels. So the first breath that you're going to take is just a simple in and out, and you're bringing your energy out in the world to just you, okay? So you're just connecting to you. So it's a nice deep breath in and deep breath out. Then you're going to connect with your heart. So you can take a nice deep breath in, you're gonna feel it go all the way down into your lungs. And when you breathe out, you can imagine breathing out green or troubles or worries or anything like that, okay? Then you're going to breathe from your toes all the way into Mother Earth, and you're gonna bring it all up through your feet and out through your breath, okay? So that's a little deeper meditation. So breathing in, good, up all the way through Mother Earth, out, good. So that's you centering yourself. That's you detaching from the world so that your focus is only your answers in your pendulum, all right? You can use your Reiki symbols to clear as well. Good. Now, as I'm clearing, I feel a warm energy here, so maybe that's coming from my necklace. So I would be aware of that, and I'm now cleaning the necklace. So that's either a message to clean your items, or that's message of what this pendulum wants to tell me. Each one kind of has their own entity. I use my red jasper for readings that require power, readings that require confidence and self-value. I use that. I use my green pendulum for matters of the heart. Okay, so love, relationships, direction, thing like that. Now a tiger's eye is, a lot of it is, I believe, your intuition, so your third eye chakra. So that could be what this guy is wanting to talk about, is intuition. So I do have these left out. It is potential that they will alter the answer of the pendulum. So we are going to remove these guys over here, and we're going to work in this area here. And then we're going to work in this area over here. We're going to see if the answer will change. So now that I've connected, I've done my breathing, I've brought myself to me, I've done my cleaning of my pendulum, a little bit of cleaning of whatever my bone malabeads wanted to tell me. And now I'm realizing when you build a malabead, you build a prayer into it. And the prayer I built into this one actually does resonate with me creating these videos. So that's good. All right. So I want the pendulum to show me, through our energy together, a yes. And then I want it to show me a no. So as I'm asking the pendulum to show me a yes, I want to think of things that are positive. I want to think of things that I would view as, yes, I want in my life. Yes, that is lovely. So I'm thinking about items that bring me some kind of comfort and peace and wholeness. So that's what I'm thinking about. Now I'm using my dominant hand, and I suggest to use your dominant hand as well. Now your dominant hand is how you take things from life, and your receiving hand is how you give out things in life. All right. So I'm connecting, I'm holding my pendulum, and this is just my personal preference. Find your own personal preference with how to activate your pendulum to receive an answer, okay? So I'm thinking of things for yes. I'm thinking of moral support, which is yes. I'm thinking of my animals, which are yes. I'm thinking of, it's turning into fall, so I'm thinking of the wind blowing through the trees and the smell. That's a yes. So now I would like the pendulum to show me its yes. Show me a yes. Now I'm trying to keep my arm as stable and still as possible. And I do have a clockwise circle. And it's a very faint circle. It's a little bit oblong. All right, good. Now I'm going to reconnect with my pendulum, or with my quartz, and I'm going to ask it to show me a no. So now I'm thinking of things that are no, things that I don't want in life. So that would be maybe like a lot of snow, or like a car accident, unfortunately. Maybe something unexpected coming, no, right? And my energy, holding up my hands, pushing against it, but then also imagining my body pushing further more, okay? So we're pushing it away from ourselves, right? So no, we don't want that. Show me a no. Now I have a right to left, right to left, right to left. Okay. Now it'd be nicer over the camera so you could see my yes was like this. Good, and my no was like this. Okay, so it would be better if I had the camera and showed you over it. We'll work on that, we'll work on that. So now that I have my little circle here, I want to bring something into it, okay? This hasn't been cleaned either. I can feel it, as soon as I touch it, I can feel residue around it, okay? But that's okay. For purpose of the video, the clearing is not an issue. All right, so we're bringing this into our circle. This here is a seashell. So I can ask the obvious, is this item a seashell? So I touch the item, I touch my pendulum, then I ask the question, okay? I have my elbow kind of anchored on the table. It will take time to hold your arm still, okay? You can hold it this way, you can hold it this way, you can hold it this way, whatever you're comfortable with, okay? Because you want your body itself to be comfortable as well. And yes, there are times where I'm doing a yes or no question and my hand will jump, like it will just involuntarily do a movement, and that's fine, okay? So what I'm asking, is this item here a seashell? Is this item a seashell? There we go. So a little distraction from me because I wanted my hand behind it so that you could see what it's doing. So it went from a yes and then it went to a no as I was moving my hand, so I was breaking my concentration. And now I have again a yes. Great. So that's validating that yes, it is a seashell. Yes, I broke a little bit of my concentration. Yes, I pulled myself back. Now I want to ask, is this a paper plate? Is this item here a paper plate? Okay, and I have a no. So for a pendulum, we can see the shakiness that it's doing, okay? Now to me, when I'm doing a reading for somebody and I have that shaky in the no, it's kind of like a high energy. So like a high voltage, potentially could be like anxiety or excitement, nervousness, just a lot of power coming through, okay? So that in the no is something to be aware of how that pendulum is speaking, all right? Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up which one? This one here. Okay, my little white with gray marble in it. And we're gonna ask the same things, okay? And why we're doing that is because I wanna see if the tiger's eye is the crystal that's holding the power for the shaky, or if it is the reading through me, just for out of curiosity. All right, so we will cleanse this one. Great. Now, if I was new at this, I could definitely redo the breathing through bringing the aura in, bringing the heart in, bringing Mother Earth up and out. I could do that. You are welcome to as well. But we're just going to connect with it for a second. All right, good. And now what I'm going to ask is for my pendulum to show me a yes. So I'm thinking of the good things. I want to have shaky there. Good. And we're going to ask it to show a no, so all of the things that we don't want. So I have shaky on both. Okay, so my question is my energy high? No. My question is there a reading that I will do for somebody today that has high energy? There we go, so I have a yes. So what that means is somebody in my circle would like a reading and they have high energy. I have already in mind the person I think it is, so let's ask. The person I am thinking of, do they need a reading for today? So I'm having a no with a tiny bit of yes. So my question is, the person I am thinking of, do they need an answer, question answered today? There we go. Yes. Okay, so what I can do is with my spiritual ability and confidence in that, is I would contact that person and say, hey, what you going through? What you dealing with? I had my guides or my pendulums say that you might have a question you want answered. I'm available. Would you like us to go through that? So that's what I can do. All right. Okay, so that's good. What else? We wanted to do the reading over the other pendulums to see if it altered that. So we're going to be taking my seashell. Okay. There we go. Don't leave anyone up. You come in here. Okay, and we're going to put it over here. Now I was spiritually asked to remove this. And we are going to ask our tiger's eye if this item here in front of me is a seashell. No with a one swing backwards yes. So I had a no, and then every now and then it would do this. Okay, so that's a backwards yes. When I get backwards yeses, that means I am asking the right question, but the wrong way, okay? So what I'm going to ask, is this a seashell with pendulums underneath of it? There you go. Now I have a full circle. It's a little shaky, but a full circle, yes. And it's funny because it's kind of having a jotty time. So that, to me, the jotty time in there means I could be extremely specific and say, is the seashell sitting on these 3 crystals? Is the pendulum, or is the seashell sitting on these 3 pendulum crystals? So it can get quite in depth as you're learning about the pendulums and how it's speaking with you, okay? If you want to keep it simple, because that's complex going into this, it was simple here. One object, one item, 2 questions. Is this what it is? Is this what it not is? And then over here we added more obstacles, I guess, or just more items. That makes it more of a complex question. So as you're learning to work with the pendulums, understand that different things, situations, the word I'm looking for is like all the happenings in life. So if other things are happening in someone's life, that will influence, that's the word I'm looking for, influences, that it will influence your answer, okay? All right. Now I want to show you this guy here. All right. And then we're going to talk about the cards. So the pendulum, when you're working with it, as each pendulum crystal quartz has its own meaning, it can tell you what it means as well. So I can ask my tiger's eye, I can ask it, are you showing me things related to my third eye chakra? And I instantly have the shake, and the shake meant a no. Okay. So the tiger's eye, are your natural energy, I believe, is clarity. Is that true? Okay, no. But I'm on kind of the right track. So we can look into that later, what a tiger's eye really means. And then that is the answers it wants to provide the most accurately, right? I want to say, basically, if the tiger's eye was a scientist, the scientist will best answer scientific questions. A scientist might not really be able to answer English questions. So if you're relating that to like a school program. So that is what I'm meaning for each crystal has its own entity, right? Can it answer some English questions? Absolutely. All right, now the cards, I wanted to, this might be the answer for the person that the tiger's eye knows has a question they want to answer. So let's look into that. And that's how quickly spiritual message can unfold, is you're on this route and it's like, ooh, but we got this over here to deal with. So I'm just going with the flow. All right. We are going to, I think, just getting ahead of myself with the mouse. We're going to use our tiger's eye first. Okay. What I'm asking the tiger's eye is for it to show me which of these decks will be appropriate to answer the question that my friend is searching for. Can you show me which one of these decks is the best to answer the question for my friend? Okay, and it's saying yes with a shaky no. So that to me, I would interpret as it could answer it itself. If I ran through a system of questions or did a pendulum map, this is a pendulum map, that it would be able to answer that itself. I might even pull out a whole different card. Okay, good. So because this card fell out, I'm just following through with message that it wants to be up on the table. So I'm bringing out the answer key for that card. So that's what I'm doing there. All right. Now we're going to go through each individually. Would this deck here be the best to answer the question for my friend? And that's a no. Okay. Would this deck here be the best one to answer the question for my friend? I'm getting a no with some yeses in it. Okay, would this deck be the best one to answer the question for my friend? That's a no. Okay, would this deck here be the best one to answer the question for my friend? So no, and then yeses. So these are the two best ones that we could go through. This one here, this is a blank card for this deck here. Would this be the best deck to answer the question for my friend? Oh, okay. All right. Deck, book, right? Two totally different things. So seashell, without influence over here had one answer. Seashell with influence over here had kind of a different answer, right? Influential answers. Deck, yes. Book, no, yeah, no, yeah. Does that make sense? Okay. We are going to, yes, we'll talk about that in a bit. I feel that the better one is the cards. I had the most powerful yes with the blank card. Being that it is the blank card that was thrown up onto the table, could potentially mean that he is to create his own answers. He is to build his own path and own way, that the answer is not within him, but it is just simply in how he provides his actions to other people. So that could potentially just be the answer. Because in this deck here, that's what blank cards are. It's for you to fill in yourself, right? When you come across an animal that is not in their interpretation, you can place that on there and build your own interpretation. So that's what a blank card is for. All right. Now I can ask my pendulum, do I clear these? Do I not clear these? Things like that, but I'm comfortable and confident to move ahead forward without doing that. But if you guys want to see, we will do it. Do I need to clean this deck before the reading for my friend? And that's a no. Okay, good. So when I am answering these things quickly, like for me, I did have a no that I don't need to clean the deck, but I did use the pendulum so that you guys could see how I've built trust in my inner pendulum. There is this sway forward and backwards. So when I'm in a moment, I don't have a pendulum, which is kind of why I have this mouse as well. I use the sway test. Okay, the sway test is my inner pendulum, my inner momentum. When I sway forward, that's a yes. When I sway backwards, that's a no. Okay, so I'm going to hold the seashell and I'm going to ask, is this a seashell? Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but there's a slight forward. I'm going to ask, is this a spray bottle? Okay, and I have a backwards. So inside I can feel like this, it's not very powerful because I do it in front of people as I'm talking to them, so I don't want to be like, oh, things like that. So I've honed it inside to be very gentle to me. So let's say I haven't built that trust in myself yet, but I would still like to know if I clean this deck, I can grab any form of pendulum I like. So this is the mouse. Now the mouse, I would like it to show me a yes because it's an inanimate object. It does not have as much powerful meaning behind it as something made of nature. So this is made of plastic and solder and all that. So I would like it to show me a no. Now it's very light on the bottom, so it's going to be difficult to get a reading. But if you had a power cord with like the big attachment, that would work. All right, so show me a yes. Great, and I actually have a circle for this one. That's good. Show me no. Lovely, great. do I need to clean this deck before I use it for the reading for my friend? Okay, and I have a confirmed no as well. All right. So there you go. I was most excited to show you that, an inanimate object without a natural influence, because it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so we would like the best answer for my friend for their question. What is the best answer? What will help guide them? Okay, now in my mind, I'm hearing shuffle 4 times instead of the make cards fall out. So we're just going to cut the deck 4 times. Now this card slid out. Now I can remove it because sometimes that means something. Funny, I cut exactly the same. All right. Now I can use my pendulum. We're going to do a 1-card pull. The card on top of this deck, is that the best card for the reading for my friend to use? And I have a no. And a backwards yes. So the card that slid out, is this the card that is best to use for my friend for their answer? I also have a no. So when I was cutting the deck, it cut exactly in the same spot. So I'm going to go back to cut 3 and I'm going to ask, is this the right card to use for my friend to best answer? Oh, no. Okay. Is this the card to use best for my friend? No. Okay. Now I heard bingo in my head, so hopefully this is yes. Is this the card to use? Okay. So just through my cutting process, when I had cut, I took the card that I felt would have been the top card when I cut it smoothly at the exact same card last time, but it was not. It was the card under that, if that makes sense, right? So I cut this and did this. I was going for, I went for this card, but I think it was maybe this card. Anyway, regardless, we have the card. So, all right. Okay, so the card best used for his question is the possum. Now it's on page 129. You can also add all of those numbers together to get an angel number so that you can provide that for them as well. So it says a possum, roll over. Are you really dead? Or just playing possum? Was it something I said? So a possum's energy is diversion. Its greatest protection is to play dead. Confuses the predators and they run away, and then it's safe. The possum medicine uses a great deal of strategy. If all else fails, play dead. It has the ability to fight with its claw and teeth, but it rarely uses this form of protection. Instead, the supreme strategy of diversion is constantly employed when things get a little too hard. They have developed an act that would receive an Academy Award. The musk of death scent is excreted at will, adding to the master play. So here I'm getting messages from the smell. I can feel like very like overpowered. So my thought for the interpretation of this is, if the power he's to use is diversion, he might be diverting himself. So he might be playing a blank card when it is meant to be filled. So he could be struggling stepping into his own power. So he's holding it in. He's not acting as of his true self. And it could be, let's read about why it could be. All right. The musk of death is excreted at will, adding to the master play that sends enemies on many trails of confusion. Okay, so he could be confusing himself. He could be, yes, self-confusion. If it is turned up in your cards, you're being asked to use strategy in some present situation. Rely upon your instinct for the best way out of a tight corner. If you have to pretend to be apathetic or unafraid, do it. Oftentimes, if you refuse to struggle or show that hurtful words bother you, your taunter will see no further fun in playing the game. Oh, okay. So if he's in a situation where he feels that he's being bullied, or he feels like he is either wanting to present an issue or has presented the issue and it's been sloughed off or ignored, that would definitely be the final, that would definitely be the death sent inside, where he was like, if I'm not important, why am I here, right? Okay. The possum may be relying on you, that you are to expect the unexpected and be clever in achieving your victory. Oh. Okay. Now I'm going to read the contrary. Close your eyes and dramatize. May keep you from seeing the truth. Okay. You might as well play dead if you are justifying what you are doing with a tragic victim routine. That's kind of what we were talking about. If this concept does not apply to your situation, though, take a look at the possibility that you may have recently been given excuses for why you don't want to do something instead of telling the truth. In fear to hurt someone's feelings, you may have trapped yourself in a justification pattern. Ah, okay. All right, I'm too sick, I'm too poor, too busy. In having to defend yourself with excuses, you may have lost the point. You don't have to defend your right to be here. The exercise is in learning to politely say that something would not be appropriate for you at this time. That's all. You owe no one an excuse. Okay, that I would say is going to be close to the focus that I would offer. Learn to emit a possum and play dead, in the sense that the best strategy is no defense. In assuming the viewpoint of no defense, you have chosen the right to be who and what you are, with no games involved. The proper use of diversion is to know when you do not need to use diversion at all. You owe no one an excuse for how you feel or what you choose to experience. Okay, so that's a great message, that that you have the right to be here, that you owe nobody an excuse. So as they are learning to operate in this new understanding of who they are meant to be in this world, it's going to be really confusing, and it's going to be very easy to operate how they used to operate, but now they have this knowing of their true source of life, like why they're meant to be here from a previous reading. They're just having the struggle of coming to that realization. So they're on entirely new ground, having to act forward with no instruction manual. They've done it this way for so long, and now they're like, I'm going to do it this way, but is that the right way? Have I been doing it the right way? So they just need some reassurance and validation to touch base to make sure that they are being the vision of comfort that they are meant to be for this life, right? They've got to get used to the fact that just by them being there and being present in physical form is offering their natural gift to other people. So how they're going to naturally respond, it's just that filter process where if they've responded that way last time, they're just to no longer respond that way this time. But what do you replace that with? What do you fulfill that with? So how do you become a vision of comfort when for so many years you felt like you were the reason why people were having an uncomfortable life? So that's the part of the hard lesson that I believe he's going into now. So to touch base with him and just reassure him that he is the vision of comfort, and what can we walk forward today, and what kind of motto can we get for you so that you feel comfortable just by showing up, right? So that there's other things too. We'll definitely have a conversation, bounce some things off so that we can have him going forward with more confidence, and just a nice reminder of how he got to where he got to, and that this is new territory. So basically, to stop playing dead, you are doing a fantastic job. You're on the right track. This is all new. Don't worry about it. Okay. All right, so that's cool. So that is definitely how messages unfold. I was under the impression we were just doing a pendulum learning. And clearly we're using the pendulum to help a friend out. So that's good. So now as I touch the pendulum here, I can feel that remember there was an energy that was here. I can feel that gone now. So I can feel like this is truly just a tiger's eye pendulum. Okay. There is energy in it that I can clear, right? And we do the clearing when we begin. We can do the clearing the same way we end. So we can do our symbols. We can pray over it. We can pray into it. We can breathe light into it. One tool I really like is the visualization of a vacuum. So I either bring a little vacuum tube down, turn the unit on, and just kind of suck the energy out. And I can see like gray smoke or mist come from it. Good. And I just hold it there until it's done, right? Sometimes it's a minute, sometimes it's longer. Good. Now, if you have built your machine properly, you can build it in your mind's eye so that when it is done cleaning, it shuts off naturally itself. So then you know that it's clean. Okay, great. All right, now I think that's everything for the pendulum. And work with the pendulums as often as you can and build trust with it, right? So get your own questions, right? Have a list of questions. The ones that I was using in the beginning of, is this a seashell? Is the seashell on things? Having your yes and no's be vivid, so that your yes really means what you want in life and the things you enjoy and the positive things. And then having your no's be the things you don't want, the things you don't like, and that they are that you're connected with them greatly, so that you have solid answers between the two. All right? Okay. Then the rest is really just your personal skill. What gifts were you given? And how is it working through you to your responses? So when you start working with people, when they come to you, that's why they're coming to you. There is an attraction, a relation, and they see something in you that they want or need. They have felt drawn to you. So that is your motto for healing, and your source is why they're there. So operate with that. You are you for a reason, just like our friend is him for a reason, and we're getting him on his path. We want our customers, clients to be on their path so that we can all vibrate higher and have a peaceful, lovely life. That's what we're building this community for. All right. So thank you for joining us. That took quite a fun turn, and I hope you enjoyed the visual documentation of learning about pendulums. All right. Have a great day.